Hello everyone. In the previous class, we have discussed about the pulse code modulation. In that pulse code modulation, each and every signals are first sampled. After the sampling, it is connected to the quantizer circuit equated to a particular value. Then that quantizer signal is converted into a codes so that the required number of codes for that particular signal is increases. Now we have to discuss about the advantages, disadvantages and applications of PCM. First, advantages of pulse code modulation. It has higher noise immunity. That means the noise introduction in the PCM is less. It rejects the noise. Noise immunity is more. The second one is it has higher transmitter efficiency. The output is good. The noise disturbance is minimum and easily multiplexed. More number of signals can be transmitted. Multiplexed means many inputs and one output. So number of signals can be transmitted at a time, easily multiplexed. And the fourth one is uniform transmission quality. The output quality is good. Then good performance over a very poor transmission path. In the transmission path, if we have the disturbance, but also the output is good. The next one is the PCM system is convenient for long distance communication. This PCM is suitable for long distance communication. The next one is the effect of noise is further reduced due to the use of a repeater. The number of repeaters are used. Due to that, the signal strength can be increased. This represents the noise is less and output is good, and security is more by using a separate encryption or encoding circuit. Encryption is nothing but encoder circuit. By using a separate encoder circuit, we can have the more security. So security is more in the PCM system. These are the advantages of pulse code modulation. Next, we consider the disadvantages. Disadvantages or demerits. Here, all the signals are converted into a sampled output. That sampled outputs are connected to the quantizer. Due to that, the number of bits required is more. If you reduce the number of steps, then quantization error is increases. If you increase the number of steps, then number of bits required per sample is increases. Due to that, the required bandwidth is more. So in the PCM, it needs more bandwidth. It is nothing but the bit rate is also more. The number of bits transmitted in 1 second is maximum, so that it needs a more bandwidth. And the second disadvantage is PCM system complexity is more. To overcome these disadvantages, we use a further circuit, that is differential pulse code modulation. Before that, we consider the applications of PCM. The PCM circuits are used in satellite communication systems, space communication systems, used in telephony, and also it is used in the compact disc. Nowadays, it is used in the compact disc. These are the applications of PCM. Now we consider the disadvantages. In the PCM, mainly we have this big disadvantage. It requires a large bandwidth. That means the number of bits per sample is more. Due to that, it needs a more bandwidth. We can reduce that by using differential pulse code modulation. Its name only indicates it is a pulse code modulation only, but it is differential. It finds the difference between the two signals. How it finds the difference? See here, differential pulse code modulation is a technique to analog to digital signal conversion, same as that of the PCM. This technique samples the analog signal and then quantizes. Till this, the process is same as that of the PCM. The difference between the sampled value and its predicted values are then encoded. In the PCM, directly the sampled signal is connected to the quantizer and the quantizer output signal is converted into a coded form. But here the difference between the sampled value and the predicted values, the previous value, predicted value means previous values, are then encoded so that the number of bits required is decreases because it encodes the difference between the sampled value and its predicted value, so that the number of bits are decreases, number of bits per sample is decreases, then automatically the bandwidth required for that transmission is also decreases. Okay, this DPCM works on the principle of prediction means previous. In this scheme the analog signal m of t is sampled and then difference between the actual sample value and its predicted value is quantized and then encoded, forming a digital value. Predicted value is based on the previous sample. The predicted value is based on the previous value or previous sample or samples. It is an intelligent decision to take a predicted sample value assumed from its previous output and summarize them with the quantized value. Such a process is called differential pulse code modulation or DPCM technique. Now we consider the differential pulse code modulation transmitter, DPCM transmitter. Observe this diagram here. Here we have the comparator circuit. It is nothing but a subtractor circuit. In this subtractor we have two inputs. One is sampled input. This sampled input is indicated by x of nts. In the above explanation we indicate that value as m of t, but here in the diagram we indicate that as x of nts. Both are one and the same. And the predicted value, that is predicted value means prediction filter output. That prediction filter output is indicated by, that is x cap of nts. Sampled input is x of nts and prediction filter output is x cap of nts. These two signals are connected to the comparator. The comparator compares these two signals and subtract these two signals and it gives the output, that is subtractor or comparator output is difference between these two signal, that is equals to E of nts. This E of nts is connected to the quantizer. In the PCM, directly the sampled output is connected to the quantizer. But here the difference between these two signal is connected to the quantizer. Therefore, the signal variation is less because the output is difference between these two signal. When the variation is less, we can use the less number of steps as well as we can use the less number of bits, because you know that the number of bits required to transmit the signal is 2 to the power of n. Here the quantizes the signal E of nts, that is the difference between the x of nts and x cap of nts. Then quantizer output is indicated by EQ of nts, that is quantized signal. This EQ of nts value is less compared to PCM output because it is the difference between these two signals. That is the main advantage of DPCM. Then that signal is encoded by the encoder circuit. Okay. Now this EQ of nts is connected to a adder circuit. This adder circuit is connected with another input, that is M cap of nts. One is EQ of nts and another one is X cap of nts. This X cap of nts and EQ of nts both are added here and that output is indicated by XQ of nts, that is the output of the adder circuit. The output of the adder circuit is indicated by XQ of nts. This XQ of nts is the input for the prediction filter, that is nothing but the addition of EQ of NTS and X cap of NTS. These signals are connected to the prediction filter. Then the prediction filter output is connected to the subtractor. Like this, the output of the comparator is difference between these two signals. Therefore, the in the encoder required number of bits is decreases because the quantizer level is decreases. VL to VH, that level is decreases. You already know that step size S is equal to higher voltage Vs minus lower voltage VL divided by M, that is number of levels. Here when we consider this EQ of NTS is less, then step size is decreases. When the step size is decreases, the number of level of quantization error is also decreases. At the same time, the maximum amount of quantization error is S by 2. When the step size is decreases, the error is also decreases. Here this is indicated by the equation. The sampled signal is denoted by X of NTS, this signal, and the predicted signal is indicated by X cap of NTS. The comparator finds the difference between the actual sample value X of NTS and the predicted value X cap of NTS. These two differences are difference is output of this comparator. This is called the signal error and it is denoted by E of NTS. This E of NTS indicates what? The difference between these two signals, that is E of NTS. This E of NTS is equal to X of NTS minus X cap of NTS. Clear? Okay, that is equation number 1. Here by this equation we can consider this E of NTS plus X cap of NTS is equal to X of NTS, that is actual signal is equal to this is the actual modulating signal, this sampled signal, this actual sampled signal X of NTS is equal to E of NTS plus X cap of NTS. Okay, here the predicted value X cap of NTS is produced by using a prediction filter. This filter is called as a prediction filter. It is also a low pass filter, or it is also called as a signal processing filter. The quantizer output signal EQ of NTS and the previous prediction is added and given to the input to the prediction filter. See here, this is M X cap of NTS and this is EQ of NTS. These two are connected to this adder. The adder output is XQ of NTS. This XQ of NTS is connected to the prediction filter. This makes the prediction closer to the actually sampled signal. The quantized error signal EQ of NTS is very small and can be encoded by using a small number of bits. Thus, the number of bits per sample is reduced in DPCM. The number of bits per sample is reduced in the DPCM. Now we consider the equation. The quantizer output would be written as EQ of NTS is equal to E of NTS plus Q of NTS. What is this? Q of NTS indicates it is a quantization error. We have a small amount of quantization error that is represented as Q of NTS. This E of NTS is actual quantization output, and along with that we have some error, that is Q of NTS. EQ of NTS is equal to E of NTS, that is the input for the quantizer, plus Q of NTS. Here Q of NTS is quantization error. From the above block diagram, the prediction filter input means this one. Prediction filter input XQ of NTS is equal to X cap of NTS plus EQ of NTS. See here, EQ of NTS is this one and this X cap of NTS is the prediction filter output. These two are added and that is XQ of NTS. Therefore, XQ of NTS is equal to EQ of NTS plus X cap of NTS. XQ of NTS is equal to X cap of NTS plus EQ of NTS. You know that EQ of NTS is equal to what? E of NTS plus Q of NTS. So you substitute that value from equation 2. Then what it becomes? XQ of NTS is equal to X cap of NTS plus E of NTS plus Q of NTS. And see here the quantizer output EQ of NTS is equal to XQ of NTS minus X cap of NTS. This indicates what? Output of the quantizer circuit, that is EQ of NTS is equal to XQ of NTS minus X cap of NTS. Correct? Now XQ of NTS is equal to X cap of NTS plus E of NTS plus Q of NTS, and already you know that this equation 1 can be rewritten as E of NTS plus X cap of NTS is equal to X of NTS. X of NTS is actual modulating signal. This is indicated here. Equation 1 can be written as E of NTS plus X cap of NTS is equal to X of NTS. This is the actual modulating signal X of NTS. And from the above equations 4 and 5, this is equation 4 and this one is equation 5. From these two equations, XQ of NTS is equal to, see here, X of NTS. X of NTS means what? E of NTS plus X cap of NTS. This part indicates what? That is X of NTS. So that XQ of NTS is equal to X of NTS plus Q of NTS. Q of NTS is quantization error. So XQ of NTS is equal to X of NTS plus Q of NTS. Therefore, the quantized version of signal XQ of NTS is the sum of the original sample value and the quantized error Q of NTS. The quantized error can be positive or negative. Here what it indicates, this output of the quantizer is the difference between the X of NTS and the X cap of NTS, because E of NTS is input to the quantizer. E of NTS is equal to what? X of NTS minus X cap of NTS. Therefore, the difference signal is present here. The variation is decreases. Due to the decreased variation, the number of levels or steps required is decreases. When the number of levels or steps required is decreases, then automatically the number of bits per sample is also decreases. Here the number of bits per sample is decreases. Due to that, the required bandwidth is also decreases. This is the main advantage of the DPCM. Next, we consider the differential pulse code modulation receiver circuit. That diagram indicates the transmitter and now it indicates the receiver. Here, the receiver receives that signals. What signal is encoded in the transmitter, that is present in the coded form, this DPCM output signal. This DPCM signal is transmitted to the transmitter. It is present in the form of 0 and 1. That signal is received by the receiver. Now it is present in the coded form, so that we need a decoder circuit. We have already know that decoder process is, it converts the coded information into known information. Now this DPCM decoder converts that coded form into a known form. Now it is connected to the adder circuit. Here this adder has again two inputs. One is output of the decoder and another one is the prediction filter output. Here this prediction filter output is adds with the decoder output. See here, the prediction filter output is indicated by X cap of NTS. This is prediction filter output, and the output of the decoder is indicated by EQ of NTS. This EQ of NTS is nothing but a like that of a quantizer output. EQ of NTS plus X cap of NTS are added in this adder, and here we have the output signal. That output signal is connected to this XQ of NTS is equal to EQ of NTS plus X cap of NTS. EQ of NTS plus X cap of NTS are added together, summed together or added together, and here we have this added signal. This output XQ of NTS, here we have the output XQ of NTS. That XQ of NTS is connected to a low pass filter. Here we connect one low pass filter. This low pass filter passes the low frequency signal, that is only the modulating signals are passed by this low pass filter, and we have the actual modulating signal at or original input signal at the output of the low pass filter. Like this, the coded signal is converts it into a original modulating signal. Next we consider the the applications and merits of DPCM or advantages of DPCM. In the DPCM, you already know that in the PCM we have one main drawback. It needs more bandwidth and bit rate is very large. The quantization error is large. To overcome that disadvantages, we use this DPCM. In the DPCM, we have a very good way to reduce the bit rate for voice transmission. Here, the bit rate is decreases. Bit rate is decreases or it reduces the bit rate. Due to that, the required bandwidth is also decreases. That is the main advantage of the DPCM. The number of bits required in the DPCM is less than the number of bits used in the PCM. Then applications, it is mainly used in speech, image and audio signal compressions. This method is suitable for real-time applications. These are the applications of DPCM. Next, we consider the disadvantage. Actually, in the DPCM, the number of bits required to transmit the information is less than the number of bits required in the PCM, but it is not a single bit. We can transmit a single bit for that transmission, that is considered as delta modulation. In the next class, we have to discuss about the delta modulation.